Hi. So today, figured I would do some more Molinberry and do the Bayless that I had mixed and couldn't find. It turns out it was right back there on my shelf. I don't know. I specifically set it aside and then forgot where I put it. Anyway, so we're gonna do that. Bayless is like a hazelnut cookie thing, I guess. I don't really know. Lumi said it was really good, so I mixed it up. That's pretty much how it went. And then I figured since Fresh, I heard, was butchering my banana pudding recipe, that I would do a version, because I actually did a different version the other day. I'm not quite sure how I feel about it. I've been trying to do a V2 of that mix for a while now, because where a biscuit is questionable, and that's in there. Plus, it's just good to have, I guess, different versions of things. And I haven't come close yet. So I figured I would do, or try to do, a version all Molinberry. Problem is, and I didn't notice this before, but Molinberry has like no whipped cream, or at least I don't have it. And that's a fairly big component of the mix. So we're going to have to improvise. Might go really bad. It might not be a pudding. It might be turned into something else. But pretty much, I'm just looking for something that tastes good, that's vaguely the same profile. And then if we have time, we might mix some other flavors up. I don't know. I'm going to try to keep this somewhat short. I always say that. It never really happens, but I'm going to try. So yeah, Bayless says it's an evening treat, cream and smoothie chocolate drink with hazelnut notes. Which is interesting because the label looks nothing like that sounds. I don't know. Anyway, I think we'll try that first because I'm really curious. It's been steeping for a while, unintentionally. I don't know, I mentioned doing it on camera, so I was saving it for that, and then I misplaced it, and blah, blah, blah. So, it's been steeping for, I'd say, at least a month, probably. I mixed it when I was playing the beta of Call of Duty with Lumi. That's when I mixed it. So I could look that up. I'm not going to. It doesn't really matter. It's been weeks. And it recommends 6 to 8%. I think I did. Might have done 6. We can check that. Bitch. If you can't tell, I'm still congested. I swear I've been sick forever. Like, it's really annoying. I luckily don't feel super sick. It's mainly just congestion. So I don't know what that's about. I know I'm stressed out. I'm guessing that's part of the issue of why it's taking so long. But who knows? What am I doing? I'm not going everywhere, but where I'm supposed to be going. I think it's in there. All right, Bayless. I mixed at 4.5. I guess it was just half of the highest percentage they recommended. That's how I got that number. I don't know. Common theme with these flavors from Molinberry is I've had to increase the percentage on them closer to what they recommend, if not the same amount that they recommend, which is new to me. But what I've been having to do. I did order a new RDA. I ordered the Ohana by Heavy Metal Vapor. I've been kind of trying to keep an eye on it to see when it was, because last time I had checked, it was still on pre-order, and I don't like pre-ordering things. Plus, I wasn't sure if the site was legit because I had never heard of them before. But it's the only place that's selling it, so I imagine it's okay. we'll see. So that should be coming according to Tracking Tuesday. So I'm excited about that. I also got one of the heavy tips. That was one of the things you could add on. I figured I might as well, just to see what they're like and support my friend. And I haven't bought a new RD in a while. I think the last one I bought was the Omie, whatever the hell it was called. I didn't end up liking it. And the one before that probably would have been the Drop Dead, which I've been using pretty much ever since. All right. Bayless. And we're using one of the icons as usual for testing these. Or this, rather. It smells interesting. Almost has a very chemical kind of note to it, like that fake sugar smell, or a fake, like a sugar-free hazelnut smell for like your coffee, like a creamer. It kind of smells like that. Oh, these things never want to go on. I don't get it. I hate O-rings. I do. I get they're a thing and you need them, but they're such a pain in the ass. And I did not like wash this anytime recently, so they're not swollen from that. So I don't know why. Anyway. I'm sorry if that's loud. I know my microphone's like right here. Sometimes I rewatch or re-listen to these, and some sounds are really loud because they're close to the mic. And obviously I don't notice it when I'm doing it because I'm not listening to myself. That would be very confusing. And I didn't bring chat up, so that's a thing. I don't even know if anyone's talking. All right, so there's some people's. Yeah, Lumi raved about this flavor. And I don't know if her and I have the same taste, because I don't think I've ever tried anything she's made. Or if we've tried anything like e-liquid wise, whether it be like, I don't know what Blue's Problem is, from like a pre-made commercial juice. Like basically, I don't know if we have any things that we like in common across the board. So I might not like this, and judging on what I'm getting so far, I don't know what I do. But I figured I had it. May as well mix it up. Is this supposed to be chocolate in here? Am I getting like any chocolate? Like, am I at chocolate mute now? This is very annoying. I get like, it almost reminds me of Capella's V1 custard, which I hate. I'm sure I have a ton of O-rings just because I don't really have any ones I've specifically bought, but I have ones that come with everything that I've bought. So I'm sure I could like swap them out. I already took one off. That is one thing I do with the icons, is I take one of the O-rings off. If I don't do that, then I'm like screwed. I'm getting the cap on and off. I don't know why. This one in particular is worse than the other ones. I don't know what that's about either, but I can't be bothered. I probably should, but hello, Miguel. Yeah, I don't think I like this Bayless. It tastes to me like Capella's Custard. I don't get any hazelnut really. I get like a faint nuttiness, but it's really buttery. If you like buttery things, which I don't in a vape, I don't think I've ever tried anything buttery that I've liked. You might like this. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Or maybe mixed with something, it might be better. But this is supposed to be a one shot. So far, I can't recall any of the one shots I've actually liked a whole lot by themselves. But it is what it is. I think that might go good in the coffee. Or maybe a cake. Like if you need like a butteriness to a cake, that might be good. But by itself, I don't like it. All right. So I guess I'm going to proceed with my banana pudding recipe. I'm going to try to share that. I don't know if I can share the screen. I'm using the integrated YouTube recorder thingy, and it's very limited. Like it's very simple, which is why I'm using it. But if you need to do anything special or extra, it ain't going to happen. Like right now, looks like I can mute myself, and then there's like I'm going to see what this arrow does. Oh, that's a share, so that doesn't really do anything. Yeah, and that's about it. End stream, that's it. So mute, share, and end stream is your options if you're using the integrated YouTube thingy. So can't share my screen. So if you're unfamiliar with my banana pudding recipe, it's fairly old, but it's probably my highest rated recipe that I've ever made, or most rated and highest rated. So I have a fair amount of recipes, but there's not a whole lot of ratings on them. Maybe because my names suck. I'm not good at naming things. But even so, even with it being the highest rated and most rated, it's still only 10. But they're all 5 stars. So I should tell you a little bit of something. So what I used for this is banana nut bread at 4% from TFA. It's a very good flavor. It was for the longest time the only banana that actually tasted like a banana and not candied banana. Since then, there have been other bananas that have come out that are among those same lines, but it's still a very good flavor. And it can be vaped alone. You don't necessarily need to add anything to it. It's just a really nice bakery banana flavor. The only qualm that I could have with it, if you were looking for something that is an authentic banana nut bread, I don't get a lot of the nut part of it, but you can always add to it. That's the great thing about DIY. And you can also add whatever nut you want to it. Like you can add almond or walnut. I think walnut is what you're supposed to add to them. I don't know. Anyway, 0.5% of Anywhere biscuit, which is one of the questionable flavors I was trying to find a dupe for, because Anywhere likes to reformulate, and I've heard, and I still haven't gotten any concrete yes or no of whether biscuit has been reformulated or not, but it's been under scrutiny. And while I do have a good amount of it on, I was going to say back order, that's not right. Like I have a backup of it. I have like about probably 60 mil or 50 mil total of biscuit, just because I kept reordering it, not remembering that I had already done it. So I have a good amount that I still have, but like other people might not. So I don't know. I just wanted to find a replacement for that flavor. I have not yet, but that's what I want to do. 0.5% of Vanilla Custard by Flavora, 0.5% of Vanilla Swirl by TFA, and 1.5% whipped cream by TFA. So that is the banana pudding. What I'm going to try to do, it's not going to be identical. It probably won't even taste similar, mainly because of the bananas I'll be using and the fact that I don't either Molinberry doesn't make a whipped cream or I don't have it. And you definitely need it in here. Between the vanilla swirl and the whipped cream, there's a lot of that going on that isn't available in Molinberry, or at least not in my stock of them. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to use their nut banana. Now this banana definitely has a nutty note to it. So if you're wanting that kind of flavor, maybe even adding these two together with the TFA banana nut and then this, that actually might work really well if you're looking for that nutty note to it, because this definitely has it. We're going to use that as like our main kind of banana flavor. Now it is not a bread, so it's not the banana nut bread, so it's going to miss a little bit of the bakery side of it. But we have other things here, and we can always add to it. And then if I need to boost the banana note by itself, because I remember this being fairly nutty, they also have soft banana, which is one of the bananas that is good, as in it actually tasting like a banana and not candied. If I recall correctly, there's a slight artificial banana, but it's mostly, an authentic fruit or whatever. Then for the biscuit part, they just came out with that butter my biscuit flavor, which is, if you don't know, the biscuit, it's not like an American biscuit. It's more of like an English European biscuit where it's a cookie. So it's just a cookie. So this is like, I guess, a butter cookie. We're going to try using it as like the biscuit note. Then I have their custard, which is a good custard for that part of it. And then this is where it gets a little dicey. So since I don't have a whipped cream, or they don't make one, I'm going to try to use milkshake. And it might not work for what I want it to do, but as long as it's good, like if you can get a banana pudding milkshake, that would still be really good. At least I think it would be. So we're going to try it. It'll add a creaminess to it and a milky dairy note to it. So I don't see it not working, but we'll see. And then if I need an extra vanilla note, because there are a few vanilla flavors in the original recipe, like the vanilla custard and the vanilla swirl, and none of these flavors that I've mentioned from Molinberry have a heavy vanilla note. The only one that does is like the custard, and it's not heavy. So if we need to add more, I do have their Epic Vanilla, which is a nice vanilla. I also have their Creamy Vanilla, which I was thinking about using, but since I'm not familiar with it, I'd rather just not, because I'm already going with a few flavors that I'm not very familiar with, and I want to limit my casualties. So that's what we're going to do. Yeah, the chocolate peanut butter milk is actually good. It was one of the few that I liked a lot. I would personally add more cream to it, but it can definitely be vaped alone. I did like that one. And I was very pleasantly surprised about their peanut butter, because peanut butter is one of those that is very hard to do. I don't like many peanut butter flavorings. I like the DX peanut butter by TFA, the Expert peanut butter by Flavor Shack, and maybe one other one that I can't recall at this moment. And that's it. All right. So this could be very bad. I don't think it will be. It shouldn't be. But we'll see. I don't have any experience with the shake, the milkshake. I got it because Dimlin, I'm pretty sure it was her, said it was good. And I noticed I didn't have it, so I figured I might as well grab it when I did my Bull City flavor order in the beginning of the week. All right, so, and I have tried nut banana, but it's been years. And I don't know that I've ever had the finalized version. I had it when it was still in beta. I don't know how they've changed it, if they've changed it. That's not in its original label, so it doesn't have a percentage. If you don't, I've never heard of Molinberry. They're from Poland. I'm not even on their regular site. They make a lot of good flavors. Why is Bing my search? I don't want Bing to be my search. My favorites from them would be Bounty, Pink Lady. Their custard and their cheesecake are solid. It looks like they're having a sale right now. Hopefully that's a good thing. Nowadays, if I see flavoring sites go having sales, it worries me because it's usually not a good thing. Not right now, anyway. All right, I think I'm just going to use the search. Did it do anything? Hello? Nut banana. 6 to 8%, so fairly high. I guess we'll keep it at 4 because the TFA was at 4. And I think it's recommended around the same percentage as the banana nut bread. We'll see if that works. Might need to bump up to 5. I might just do 5. Do I want to do 5? We'll just do 5 because lately everything's been weaker than it needs to be for me. So we'll just start there, I guess. Well, no. We'll do 4 because I might need to add just banana. We'll do that. All right. Butter my biscuit is 8%. So this one is going to be weird. Maybe 2%. We'll start at 2. Their custard we'll do at 1. It is a little weaker than Flavora's, which I used at 0.5%. So we'll do a full percent of Molinberry. As far as how Molinberry's custard is, it's similar to Flavora's. Less vanilla note. I'd have to single flavor test it again. It's been years, but it's a good non-offensive custard. It's not very eggy, if at all, which I don't like eggy custards personally. And it doesn't have a super strong vanilla note, so if it's not something you wanted, it's not going to be an issue. And it blends well with a lot of things. All right, milkshake. No, I didn't want to add it to my basket. So 6 to 8%. I did a 0.5% of vanilla swirl, so we'll do a full percent of this. And then I don't have a whipped cream, or they don't have a let's see if they have a whipped cream. I don't recall ever seeing one. A creamy cake, creamy vanilla. Probably should have grabbed that. All right, we might grab the creamy vanilla. Maybe that'll be enough to. I wonder why they don't have a whipped cream. You would think creamy vanilla. See what the notes say. It has a picture of whipped cream on it. So maybe that's what their whipped cream is. Kind of makes sense. So we'll get that instead of the Epic Vanilla that I bought, which is just vanilla. Creamy vanilla makes more sense. We'll do that at 1% because I imagine the milkshake has a vanilla note to it as well. So it should be fine. Hey. Oh, and one thing I did want to mention, because I keep forgetting, Nutty Vanilla does have other notes to it. And we'll look at those in a second. But I don't think they'll conflict with what we're doing. It's going to probably change it, but I think that was inevitable. between all the different brands and flavors we're using, it was going to happen regardless. I'm just looking for something that tastes good with the inspiration of my original recipe. Because I think at this point, cloning it for me, I've tried many times. I don't know if it's going to happen. So it might just have to go off of inspired by. All right, so in the picture of nut banana, looks like there's hazelnut, caramel, and banana. So you might have an extra bit of caramel in there. The one review says that the banana is very powerful, but not a lot of nut. And when I tested it, I could have sworn I got more nut than banana, but that was literally probably 7 years ago. So who knows? Anyway, enough talking about that. And this probably will need to sit for a couple days to be really good because of all the creams and stuff in it. But I feel like we should have some idea what it's going to be like if it's going to be horrible or not right away. Like my banana pudding, especially if you're making a big batch, I would recommend it sitting a couple days. I only mix small batches, so steeping is usually not an issue for me for most flavors, but I know most people don't mix such low amounts the way that I do. Like we're talking 10 mil. Like right now I'm doing a 10 mil tester of this. If I really like something, I'll make a 30 and that's it. I don't do any more than 30. And there's reasons for that. But I also don't vape through a 30 super quickly. So there's that as well. And lately I've still been on my mint kick. I don't know if and when that'll go away, but that's what I've been doing. If anyone likes tobaccos in here, I know a lot of people don't. Do you have a recommendation for a tobacco you think would go well with peppermint? I've been vaping a peppermint mixture, and I kind of want to add tobacco to it just to make it a little bit different. I can't really think of anything that would actually go with it. Put you over there. All right, so butter my biscuit, which I didn't remember liking all that much on its own. Hopefully it'll go better in here. Yeah, it was kind of dry, which I mean biscuits are typically dry, but it's very mealy, which is not something I really wanted to vape. But maybe with all this cream and everything in it and the vanilla, maybe it'll do well. Who knows? All right, we're going to try this creamy vanilla. I have not tried this yet. It smells pretty nice. It smells like vanilla. I love vanilla. It's one of my favorite scents. Like, I don't know if you could see behind me on my shelves. There's a bunch of candles because I don't really know where else to put them. But I bought a bunch of candles from Bath & Body Works because they're having a sale. And one of my all-time favorite scents from them is Lavender Vanilla. It's so nice. Because I like lavender, but it can be a little bit too like soapy and like kind of strong. But with the vanilla, it kind of smooths out a bit and makes it nice. So it's not too like perfume heavy, because I do get irritated if a scent is too strong. Like yesterday, I had already had a headache, and I tried to, I was going to say vape. I tried to, I lit the flannel candle, which is kind of like a masculine, almost cologne type scent. And it smells good. I actually like the way it smells, but it was too much, especially when I already had a headache. So I had to like put that out. And then I lit limoncello instead, and that one's nice. It's like a sweet lemon scent. These bottles are hard. So beyond that, I haven't bought anything. I know I'm like, my thoughts are kind of weird. I was trying to think of what to talk about, and I was talking about things I had purchased. So I kind of was going to continue along with things that I purchased, but I haven't really been purchasing stuff lately. You know, I got more Nick because of everything that's happening. I have plenty of flavors, and the thing is I don't really want to stock up on flavors because they do go bad eventually. And if I don't know, I don't want to do that personally, just because I have so many already. I don't even know where the hell I put them. So, and like I am somewhat stocked up on like my flavors that I really like, especially ones that I can mix alone. So I think I'm good there. I guess touching base on that, and I hate bringing it up, I really do, because it is depressing. It really truly is depressing. But at the same time, we have to be realistic, and I feel like I forget who else was talking about it, but I'm pretty sure Jay was talking about it, and whether or not we as vapors or DIYers or whatever are to blame for everything that's happening because we've ignored certain things. And I do, to a degree, think that we are. Because I think for a lot of people, we just kind of ignored it, hoping it would go away, and it has not. So I don't know. I don't want to ignore it, but I also don't want to like dwell on it because I feel like a lot of other people are talking about it enough, and they're a lot more informed than I am. I've been keeping up with it as much as I can, but there's just a lot going on. But all of that to say this, if there are flavors that you do like, I would recommend grabbing them. I've already heard of a couple different places that are closing, which I mentioned this before, that, you know, DIY is not as safe from all of this ban stuff that people were like leading on to. Like it's not like that. Like this impacts everyone across the board. So if there are flavors you like, especially if they're from some of the less, I don't know how you would term it. So basically, if it's something like that's not Capella, TFA, Flavor Art, brands that have been around forever and are used for different things, if they're from companies other than those, like main flavors that I think are more safe from regulation problems than the other ones, I would definitely grab them because they might not be available, which is very sad. Banana pudding can steep a year and be awesome if it's in a dark glass bottle. That's interesting. I've never had it long enough to know that. I usually vape it within, a week of, mixing it or whatever. Probably should have gotten hot water. I'm always forgetting something. And Fresh specifically bought that crock pot, so I didn't do this, but sorry guys. I try to be prepared. I try to have all my flavors gathered. I always forget something. All right, so while this is taking a bath, we're going to mix up this RY4 by Molinberry. I've tried a couple of their tobaccos way back in the day, but it's been literally years since I've had any tobacco from them. So we're going to try it. I don't think I probably had their RY4. Maybe. I don't know. And I thought I had more tobaccos from them, but apparently I don't. Molinberry. I still have quite a lot of their newer flavors I haven't tried yet. Yeah, it looks like the RY4s. I could have sworn I bought something else. Sometimes I'll look at something and think of buying it and then think I did buy it. I don't know if that makes sense at all. I think that's what happened. So I was looking at, I think it was Western or something. Because they don't have a ton of tobacco flavors, but they have a couple. So I guess we'll just do this one. I also got the new TFA strawberry yogurt. It smells really good. Well, I mean, for a yogurt, yogurt flavors typically smell kind of weird. But as far as yogurts go, it smells good. I think especially if you like their Greek yogurt, you would like this. All right, so 6%, so we'll do 3. And this banana mixture might actually go really nicely with an RY4 because it has that caramel nuttiness to it. You could drip it on top of each other and see what happens. That's a little thing if you've never thought about doing it. So if you have two flavors that you think might go well together, especially if you use an RDA, you can actually just drip one drop of your mixture and then another drop of your mixture onto your coil. And it'll give you like a rough idea if those flavors blend well together. It's obviously not going to be super accurate because you're mixing the flavors at different percentages, and you do have to adjust percentages when you're mixing as a component instead of like a standalone flavor, if that makes sense. But it'll give you an idea if there's any hope for them kind of tasting okay together to a degree, especially for something like this. Like if you already have a tobacco mixed up, or you can just do little testers of it. I guess that's what I could do for my peppermint is just do a few little testers of tobaccos and then just strip them one-on-one on top of the peppermint and see which one tastes good. It's just very time consuming. And I have a lot of tobaccos, so it kind of would help to know like a rough place to start. I might just ask Jennifer Winstead. She likes tobaccos a lot. And the other Jen, Jarvis, they both do a fair amount of tobaccos. All right, why am I doing that? This is what happens when you're trying to do a bunch of things at once and talking when you're doing them. I meant to get a bottle and I got a wick for my coil instead, but I guess it works. Anyway. Doesn't look like anyone's talking. This camera is so weird. Like, you see how that looks like very ghost-like. Like, what is that about? And then you have Blue, who's messing with stuff, and she looks like a ghost. It's just like this area right here. I don't know if it's just the color of the blanket. It kind of just distorts things, but then up here it looks fine, but like here, like a ghost. I don't know. Anyway, maybe it's a lighting or something. Anyway, no, it's not a smudge. I think it's a smudge. I ain't messing with it though. I'll wipe it off after the show. Let's see if that does anything. It kind of has a cool effect to it. Anyway, for Mix and Vixens, we are doing this weird floating cookie thing. I think I picked it. I don't know why. I think maybe because it looked cool. May have been a mistake, though. There's just like a lot going on. Where the hell did my thing go? Or did I not do it? Maybe I didn't do it. And then after that, we have the chit chat. So if you guys have any questions for us or me, think about them. And then after that, we have judging. We're supposed to have a very special guest judge. Hopefully, they're still going to be on, because that would be super cool. I could have sworn I did this. Yeah, because I did it at 3%. Where the heck did it go? It's really weird. No, I don't want to add flavor. Hello, Rob. It's like extremely quiet right now, and it's kind of freaking me out because it's never really all that quiet. Like, it's nice, but I usually always have some kind of background noise, whether it be YouTube. Well, it's usually almost always YouTube. But something going on, and I don't right now, and it's very weird. So I went bowling yesterday. I did okay. I'm still very inconsistent. Even though I've been practicing, like, I've upped my bowling from once a week to twice a week. And I don't know. I don't know if it's helping. It seems like it might be helping a little bit, but I don't know. But I think we won all 3 games. And we were in 4th place, I'm pretty sure. But we were tied for 4th. It was kind of... It wasn't kind of. It was BS. So last time we went bowling, we won 2 out of the 3 games. Because, like, it shows you on the screen, even with your handicap, like, kind of where you stand. And we won 2 out of the 3 games. So we checked this week, and I think we only got 1 game out of 2, or the 3. So we had it looked into, and it was because the other team that we had bowled against apparently hadn't established their average yet, or their handicap yet. So when they did, they made up a game. All of a sudden, like, it made us lose. Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't like the handicap bowling thing. I don't get it. Like, it's very super weird to me, and it seems like it can be manipulated quite easily. Specifically by the team that I'm referring to, too, which is ironic. But it's weird. It's like we thought we had won 2 out of 3 games, and it turns out because some BS thing, now it's like the opposite. We only won 1 out of the 3 games. It's super weird. So it's like now every week I'm thinking, okay, well, did we really win or not? Because we really won't know. I don't know. And like I had joined because it was supposed to be fun. Because I'm not a very competitive person. I don't care enough to be competitive. I just genuinely don't. Trying to think if there's anything that I'm competitive about. I can't really think of any. I just wanted to do it because it was something to do with the family. Because I don't see my brother a whole lot these days. Well, up until we started bowling together. So it's just, time to see him and time for us all to do something as a family. And I specifically told him, like, look, you guys know, or it was mainly my dad. I'm like, you know that I'm not good at bowling. So if you're expecting me to be good at bowling, it's not going to happen. Like, don't get mad at me if I suck. And he's like, oh, it'll be fine. You know, we have handicaps for that. Da, 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 da. Well, I still feel a lot of pressure. And I get it. Everyone wants to win. But it's like, for me, it's like, if I'm just stressed out the entire time because I want to win, like, that's not fun to me. Like, I don't see how that's fun to anyone. I don't know. So I'm trying to like get with the whole competitive aspect of it and just like not be super critical of everything that I do, which is very hard for me. But it's just like, it's very frustrating. Hello, Vaporous Vape. We only have 5 pins where I am. Yeah, and that they call it sandbagging. And I swear, like, this one dude in particular was sandbagging. And even, like, my brother and everything was like, he's doing that. There's just no way he's not doing that. And that, to me, is just such bullshit. It's like, you're already good. Why do you have to do things to, like, manipulate it so you can win? Like, I just... If that's what he was doing. There's no way to know that except him. Like, no one knows that but him. But it was kind of ironic and skeptical or suspicious was the word I was looking for. It sounds like that candle bowling or whatever it's called. That looks super weird to me. It reminds me of like skee ball, but like with pins. Because yeah, Emily was talking about how in Canada their bowling is really weird. I don't know. I like bowling. I do. That's why I joined the league, but I don't know. It's very nerve-wracking to me when everyone's like super stressed out because they're not bowling the way that they want to be bowling. And it's like, it's supposed to be fun. Like, you guys told me it was supposed to be fun, not stressful, not super competitive, no one getting mad because somebody's bowling bad. Like, that's what I signed up for. I did not sign up for being stressed out because I didn't make my spare or I guttered the ball on accident. I didn't sign up for that shit. Especially when I'm still learning how to fucking curve a ball. I still can't figure that out. I really can't. Like, I know when I'm throwing it right because it just feels a certain way, but I can't figure out how to do that like consistently. Yeah, it's weird to us in the US because it looks completely different. But it is what it is. The people are nice, though. The ones that we bowl with are nice overall. So, I mean, that's good. And there's a lot of good bowlers. Like, I've been watching them, you know, as I'm like waiting for whatever to happen. And it's like, damn. So I guess it's good that there's handicaps because otherwise we'd have no chance in hell. But I don't know. I guess I just wish we weren't so focused on like how our team was doing. Like, I don't know. And maybe I'm just being too critical of it. You know, I'm very critical of myself, which is not good. I don't know. So this is the Fresh apparently made a remix of my banana pudding. I haven't watched the episode yet. They were just talking about it. It was on it's either yesterday. I think it was yesterday. I haven't watched the episode yet, so I don't know exactly what they did to it. I swear this is like the second time they've done this to that specific recipe. So I figured I actually had done a remix of the banana pudding about a week and a half ago, something like that. Just because I've been trying to make V2s of that flavor for a while now. So I figured since they're butchering my recipe, I can butcher my own recipe. And I'm going to do it all with Molinberry and just see what happens. So I'm about to I'm about to vape it so we can see how much of a mess it is, if it is a mess. But just to recap what it is. So I used Butter My Biscuit by Molinberry at 2%, which is supposed to be kind of like a butter cookie type thing. We did Creamy Vanilla by Molinberry at 1%, which is supposed to be their version of like a whipped cream. We did Custard, 1%. Milkshake, 1%. And their Nut Banana at 4%. Because the main part of it is supposed to be like a banana and then everything else. So we'll see how this works. The interesting thing is I only have a fair amount of experience with one of the flavors out of the 5. No experience with Creamy Vanilla. I've only single flavor tested Nut Banana and Butter My Biscuit. So this should be interesting. There we go. And then what we might do on top of that is add Molinberry's RY4 and see what it's like. Just because I'm curious. If you didn't know, nuts go really well with tobacco for the most part. Coffee also goes fairly well with tobacco, especially the more ashier ones or the ones that you're looking for an ash note from. It sounds weird, but for some reason they work together. And even tea can ironically go well with tobacco. Maybe because they're both leaves. I have no idea. What else? I mean, really anything can go with tobacco if you want it to, but those are the ones that kind of stick out to me as like additives or enhancers for tobacco. Yeah, Epic Vanilla is really good. It's kind of similar to Shisha Vanilla to me, except not as strong. Like Shisha Vanilla is a great flavor. I personally find it somewhat hard to work with because it tends to take over the entire recipe fairly easily, which I don't personally like. If I'm not going for something that's like heavy vanilla, it's hard to get it to kind of play nice. It just wants to do everything. Hello, ST. Okay. Right off the rip, it tastes nothing like the banana pudding. We'll start there. It needs more cream. It's not bad though. It just tastes nothing like the banana pudding. And that nut banana flavor with the caramel, that caramel needs to either be smoothed out by the more cream or it needs to steep a bit. Steep. I'm trying not to use that word because some people are just so irritated about that phrase because technically it's not steeping. But you got to remember, I've been mixing since like 2011. That's what we called it. So it's hard to break that long of a habit. So I try to just say that it's going to need to sit because that's really all it's doing is sitting. But sometimes I'll say steep, so I apologize. But it's definitely going to need to sit for that caramel to kind of calm down. It's a little bit edgy. It's a little throaty, but everything's been a little throaty lately for me. I don't know why. That's why I've been vaping so much mint. Maybe it's my nick. That could very well be it. And then the peppermint just kind of smooths that out. I might have to look into that. Yeah, so I'm going to add more cream. I don't know what creamy vanilla is supposed to be. I want to say it was like 4 to 6%, so maybe it's just too low. I don't want to bump up the custard because the custard has that. It potentially has a buttery note to it. I don't remember Molinberries being super like that, but just to avoid that, we're not going to add any more of that. So I'm just going to add more creamy vanilla, see what happens. I don't know why I put these over here. Oh, because, yeah, I know why. I'm just going to add more of that. There we go. ST, you're crazy. Yeah, that might work. I need a single flavor test this creamy vanilla to see what it's like. It just might not be creamy enough for what I'm going for. I don't know. Lately, I've been really liking that one-on-one whipped cream. That's been my go-to for whipped cream. Before that, it was Delosi. At least the one-on-one's a little bit easier to get. Maybe. I don't think Bull City has it yet. I don't know if they plan on getting it. I don't know. All right. So while that's chilling, see, it's interesting because the one review it had said it was very banana forward. Actually, I probably should add more banana to it too while I'm doing that. It's not very banana heavy to me. I get more of the caramel and the nut than I do banana. But I don't taste any runtiness, no. But we're going to add more banana. I pulled out their soft banana specifically for that reason. So we're going to add a 1% of this as well. Thanks for reminding me. And it could be the biscuit. Maybe the biscuit clashes with the caramel and the nut banana. I don't know. I mean, like I said, it's not a bad mix by any means. It's just not what I was going for. All right, so let's go back in the pool. Oh, and since you weren't here in the beginning, I don't think what I'm trying to do is do a remix of the banana pudding. And ST's tried it, so he knows what I'm talking about. So that's what I'm trying to do. It's not going to be identical just because all these flavors are very different. But I wanted it to be kind of like inspired by, but right now it's like nowhere close to it. And I don't know that we're going to get there with all Molinberry flavors. I didn't really think I would be able to do it with all Molinberry, but I wanted to try it anyway. All right, we're going to try this RY4. I don't know. Molinberry's descriptions are not always great. Like the nut banana, it just says a new approach on our famous classic banana flavor. That's all it says. And then the picture has caramel, banana, and some kind of nut, which looks like a hazelnut. That's it. There's no profile breakdown, which is annoying. Am I going to DC? No. My work situation, I don't even really want to get into. Right now, we only have 4 in-house people, and we're losing one of them. Mind you, we're not keeping up with the workload we already have. We're losing someone, and we just got 2 new clients. So me taking off anytime soon is not going to happen. Banana custard. I think I've actually tried Vape Train's banana custard, and it didn't work. I actually don't think I like that flavor. I think that's why it didn't work. can't recall if I've single flavor tested it. I'm bad at single flavor testing these days just because I have so many flavors. It's very overwhelming. That's why I try to do some of it on this channel, just so I'm doing them. Kind of forces me to do them. But it's a pain. So this RY4, now mind you, there are not many RY4s I like. The profile sounds great. It's, a nut, caramel, tobacco. Those are all flavors I like in real life. But for some reason, vaping them, it has, there's like I'm trying to think of a flavor it tastes like. It has a very specific note or flavor that I have tried in other tobaccos that I don't like. Maybe it's just like a very synthetic tobacco flavor that I don't like, or maybe it's ethyl maltol. It almost has like an ethyl maltol. You know how ethyl maltol has that flavor to it? It's like sweet, but it's like fake sweet, and it's kind of, I don't know. It's not very good at describing things, but basically this tastes very ethyl maltol-esque. And the tobacco note, if there's one at all, I don't like it. It's not terrible, but with so many good tobacco flavors out there, I would not reach for this at all. The only RY4 that I can recall liking is the Holy RY4 by Flavor Shack, which is my dad's all-day vape. All I do is add butterscotch to it, Soho, and butter toffee, and that's what he vapes. That's what he's been vaping for probably a year now. But all other RY4s I've tried, I don't like. They all have like the similar taste to them, which I guess is good because, I mean, they should taste similar if they're the same profile. But they have like this common note between them all that I don't like. And for some reason, the Holy Grail doesn't. I don't know. And I want to say I might like Flavor Arts RY4, at least mixed in something. But I don't recall trying it by itself, at least not anytime recently. So I might have to do that, but who knows when that'll happen. All right, so we're going to try this banana mixture again with the added 1% soft banana by Molinberry and the extra 1% of the creamy vanilla. Let's see if it's any better. If it's still not where I want it, I'm just going to table it, and we'll see if letting it sit for 2 weeks until I do in the next show helps it. If not, then it just is what it is. Well, Dimlin, you're here. I don't think you were here when I originally talked about it. So I got the Molinberry milkshake. And if I recall correctly, you're the one that said it's a good flavor. Does it need to sit? Or is it good right away? Oh, and ST, since you're here, I was making it pretty frequently onto your shows, like watching them. It's just, it is during my work schedule, technically. So sometimes I just forget. And lately, it's been a shit show at work, not your show. And sometimes I'm there, I just don't talk much. But I do try to make it. Okay. So adding that extra creamy vanilla helped. The caramel note in the nut banana isn't so punchy. I definitely think letting it sit is going to help because it's still a little bit not rough, but not smooth. Like it needs to smooth out just a little bit. And the banana note is still not super strong. So I don't know if I just don't taste bananas as much as this other person, but I definitely don't think it's banana forward. I get more nut and caramel than I do banana out of the nut banana. And I'm tasting a little bit more of the milkshake, or what I think is the milkshake, now that I've added more of the creamy vanilla. And yeah, that's what I'm getting is kind of like a McDonald's vanilla shake from it. So at least I know that I probably like the milkshake. I think it's kind of buried in the nut banana. Maybe I just used too much of it, even at 4%. I'm starting to get a little loopy from vaping so consistently. I don't know. I think it has promise. It's definitely nothing like my banana pudding. So as far as getting anywhere close to replicating that flavor, it's nowhere close. That might just be a mix that I'm just not able to make better. I don't know. One thing I do want to try, because I've had a little bit of, not critique, but things that could be better from it, is some people at the percentage I was using, they're not getting a full flavor from it, which, you know, I mix low percentage wise. So what I might try doing is maybe just tweaking that formula or whatever to make it better instead of just trying to revamp it completely, and maybe adding a bit of this soft banana to it to make the banana more pronounced. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. But I guess to summarize, the creamy vanilla seems like it's good. I haven't single flavor tested it, so I wouldn't know until I do that. The milkshake seems like it's good as well. The nut banana, it's okay. I'm just not getting a whole lot of banana from it. And I'm thinking maybe the butter my biscuit flavor was just not a good biscuit to put in there. Because the thing that's good about the Inawera biscuit, it's a nice buttery cookie flavor, which I think is missing from that butter biscuit, which is ironic because it's kind of exactly what it's supposed to be as a buttery biscuit. But when I single flavor tested it, I didn't really get much of that. I got a very, almost like graham cracker. You know how graham crackers are very textured and very dry? It almost was like that, like texturally. Flavor-wise, it was almost like an unflavored graham cracker is what I was getting from it. And I did worry about that using it in this mix because the Inawera biscuit is something entirely different. But Molinberry didn't really have anything else that would have fit besides this flavor. So that's why I used it. But even just smelling it, it smells to me like an unflavored graham cracker. So like all texture, not much flavor, which could be good to add texture to a cookie, but on its own, I don't know if it's my jam personally. So do you guys have any questions about anything? As if not, I'm probably going to bounce. I'm still grinding my teeth really bad when I sleep. So right now I have a pretty bad headache and jaw pain. And talking is not helping. Yeah, Dimlin, especially considering how picky you are, and I don't mean that in a mean way, just because from one picky person to another, I can relate. I don't think you would like it. Especially since you seem to get a lot of off notes on flavors. I don't think it would be good for you. You might like the creamy vanilla if you don't have that, but I don't know enough about your profile, like what profiles you like, to know that for certain. And like here, like, so I'm looking at Molinberry's site. It has this Butter My Biscuit. No description. It just says biscuit base to keep you snacking. No idea what kind of biscuit it is, what flavor biscuit it is, nothing. So I guess I have one huge critique, which is not just Molinberry, it's most flavoring brands. Have better descriptions so we know what we're tasting. I don't want to have to guess on every single flavor what it's supposed to be. And I know flavor is subjective, but you have to know kind of what you're going for when you're mixing them. Innerwear purple blush. I have. Let me see if I made notes. I probably didn't. I always get it and the Purple Panther, I think it's called, confused. So I just want to make sure I'm talking about the right one. But I'm pretty sure I have and have tried that flavor. Speaking of Innerwear, I did buy the spiced cookie or spiced biscuit. It smells pretty good. If it's anything like their regular biscuit, it'll be great because it ideally would be their biscuit with spiced notes to it, like a spiced cookie. You know, your clove, like a gingerbread spice kind of thing. Blue, if you don't knock it off. Hey, ma'am. This cat is something else. Purple blush. Of course, I don't have notes to it. Blueberry plum cake with a touch of honey. Maybe I haven't tried it. That doesn't sound familiar to me. Speculoos cookie. The Jungle Flavors cookie butter is very good. It tastes just like, to me, it tastes just like Speculoos. Yeah, I don't know if I've tried this. I think I have it because I'm looking at it in my I'm thinking of Purple Rain is what I'm thinking of. I do like Purple Rain, but it needs to steep or sit because it's very floral at first. Because it's like a lavender mixture. So yeah, I haven't tried Purple Blush, but I do have it. Or if I have tried it, I don't remember. It's very possible I could have. I need to get better on when I'm doing these single flavor tests live, actually putting the notes into ELR because it's where I put all my notes. If I didn't have ELR, it'd be a whole mess. I used to write everything down. I might need to get back to that, but the thing that makes writing it hard, or the thing that makes writing it down difficult, is that I have so many flavors that keeping them organized is very difficult because you end up running out of room for each brand and it's kind of a mess. Yeah, sometimes their cakes are weird. Like what was another flavor they had? It was supposed to be a cake and I didn't get any cake from it. Cake Emperor was one. I'm pretty sure I didn't get a whole lot of something from it. Well, the good thing about ELR is you can export your data. So I do that every now and then, which I actually need to do that soon. So at least I'll have a list of all my flavors, because when you have as many as I do, it's a mess. Like I legit don't remember flavors that I have. So at least it does that. I don't know if you can back up your notes though. Well, you can export from ELR. Might be able to export too. I don't know. I know you can export like your data from ELR to somewhere else. At least your flavor list. That's what I do, is like my flavor stash. I'll export it to, I usually just email it to myself and then save it. But yeah, you can definitely export to CSV, which is kind of just text. It makes a little report. I would show you the screenshot of it, but I can't because I just used the integrated web thingy. But yeah, it's nice because it at least gives you a list of what you have. But as far as notes, I don't know if it shows notes. But I guess you could always physically just write the notes after you export it. That might be an option. Why wouldn't it open? Okay, that didn't help. All right, well, I ain't messing with that. But yeah, as soon as I order flavors, I don't even wait till they come in. Usually as soon as I order the flavors, I'll enter them into ELR. That way I don't forget. But even then, that's not always 100% because like if I'm doing flavor swaps with someone, like for a while me and Leilani were swapping flavors, that's when things get dicey because if you don't put them in immediately, then you don't even remember you have them. And when I redid all my organization back there, actually went through every single flavor I had and checked it with ELR to make sure that it was there. And then when I got rid of flavors, because I did get rid of a bunch when I was doing my organization because I just had really old flavors, I deleted them. So, but even then, I'm still running into flavors that I have but are not in ELR. I don't know how that happened, but it's happened. But yeah, I use ELR for really everything. I was doing it both on all the flavors and ELR. It just gets so overwhelming. Like right now, I'm probably like 300 flavors behind, if not more, on all the flavors. Like, let's see what I have in here, or what it says I have. Probably nowhere near what I actually have. Just too much. And then some of the flavors aren't in here, so I get pissed off about that. I just find it irritating. My flavor. No, not my followers. Holy crap, I have a lot of followers. Alrighty. My flavor doesn't even list the total. All right, so it doesn't tell me how many. So that doesn't help. But whatever. I like the strands you're using. Where did you get them? Oh, the stands. The shelving. I gotta look at my camera. So the thing on the bottom here, I actually don't like this. It was supposed to be it's a desk that was supposed to be replacing the one that I'm using now, like for this. But it's too shallow, or it's not long enough this way, like from top to bottom. Like it's like maybe that wide from top to bottom. And especially right now I'm using an HD TV as my monitor because that one right there broke my computer monitor because she kept walking behind, because like right here is where my windows are behind the screen, and she kept walking from one window to another, and it like would bulge out the monitor and make it fall forward. And after like 4 times of doing that, it finally broke. So I actually have an HD TV that literally takes, it's the exact length, width this way of my desk. So that definitely would not go well with that back there. So like I would basically only be able to have my TV and my keyboard on that desk because it's just, there's no room. But it's very long. It's long this way. But anyway, I just put it there because it's something. At least it gets the flavors off the floor. Because ideally, I'd like have to have all my flavors off the floor so they're within like arm's reach. So that's what the bottom part is, which you can't really see a whole lot of, and it's very unorganized. So I'm not worried about it. The white shelves, which is probably what you're more so referring to, I just got off. Pretty sure that was Amazon. Because I did order one on Walmart or from Walmart that was like half the size because I was going to put it this way. So I'd have at least 3 more tiers of stuff, but it never came. So if I can find it. I buy a lot of stuff on Amazon though, so I don't know. But it was like $67, something like that. And then the actual tiers of like where I put the flavors, it's a nail polish rack. Those are where it becomes expensive because actually the racks themselves, the acrylic racks, cost more than the shelving because they're like $15 a piece. And I bought 6 of them. So you total it up, it gets pricey. At least for me. To me, I'm not rolling in dough. But it's so much easier to find everything now, and it looks a lot nicer. Like you can just see how streamlined it is, especially with the Wonder Flavors looks the prettiest because all the packaging is the same. But it's just so much easier instead of like trying to rummage through drawers and crap. Ideally, I'd like all my flavors to be in those, but at 1,260 flavors, that's a lot of money. Yeah, the unfortunate thing is like I don't know what else would work outside of the acrylic stands, especially for what I'd want from it, because I've looked at other options and there really isn't any, at least not that I was able to find. So I guess my recommendation if you're going this route is maybe to just do it over time. Well, okay, so actually these went up. These are $18 a piece. Damn, son. Okay, 17. So they range. But I spent like close to $100 last time I got those acrylic rack thingies. I guess if you have a, I haven't looked there yet, but I do want to check it out. Container Store, like it's called the Container Store. I found out we do have one. It's just in a location I rarely ever go. So the next time I'm in that area, I do want to check it out just to see what their pricing looks like. So it might be better to get it from there. I don't know. Because I get the Prime, the Amazon Prime. So I don't pay shipping or anything. So it might not be any cheaper to get it from Container Store. I don't know. But there's the acrylic stands and then the actual shelf. And I don't know that I can recommend the shelf because it was a bitch to put together. Because the problem is you kind of have to, the way that they designed it to go together, the skinnier part, and it would be so much easier if I could share my screen. But like that part right there, like the thinner parts, they have like these little wooden pegs that connect them together. And the wooden pegs only stick out about like maybe that much. And they don't have a stopper on either side. So you kind of just have to keep like messing with it to get them all to stay together. And then on top of that, once you get the whole like cross sections together, because like this long piece is all one piece, but then the one right there and then the one above, those are 2 separate pieces there. And you have to like put them together. So you have to keep all of those together while you're putting on the bottom and the sides. So it gets really jacked up. Like one of them actually was screwed up where the peg wasn't actually in for one of them, but I could not be bothered to take the whole thing apart and do it over again. So I just like locked it off. And it's been fine. But, and then you can also see that this part right here is unfinished. It's supposed to be white like the rest. And also on, It's like all backwards. This side is unfinished and it's supposed to be all white like that. And it's because I didn't have them flipped the right way. But trying to do all that by myself, trying to keep everything together, like I could not be bothered to take it all apart. Plus it was scratching up my legs because like a dummy I had shorts on because this was like months ago. And it just completely scraped up my legs. And I was like, you know what? I'm done. It's together. It doesn't look as good as it could if everything was on the finished side, but I don't care. Like it holds my damn flavors. That's all I need it to do. I don't care if it looks super, super great, whatever. It holds my stuff. If I really care about it, I'll paint it white. Obviously, I don't because it's not painted. I tried putting nail polish because I have white nail polish just to see if it worked. It was curiosity, but it didn't. I'd have to actually buy like legit paint. But I can't be bothered to do all that. And I really don't want paint next to my flavors anyway. But just, for your information, that shelf is a bitch to put together. The actual desk below it wasn't bad at all. Like I put that together fine. This desk that I'm using, I've had this one for years. I think I had it in my old room too. It looks like shit if you could actually see like the top part of it, like the black part is like kind of scraped off on a lot of parts, but again, I don't care. Like it, as long as it's functional, that's all I care about. I'm not big on the whole, like if it looks like great, because you guys don't see it anyway. Yeah, I'm not taking it apart and fixing it. Nope. Never gonna happen. Look, Demlin, you're lucky it's organized to begin with. That was like your biggest gripe for the longest time, is me digging through my drawers and it giving you so much anxiety. Now you got nice little rows of flavors. They're in alphabetical order and separated by, brand. No, I am not taking that thing apart. Hell no. But yeah, if you get that specific shelf, number one, I wouldn't recommend it. Just because it was poorly designed to put together. It really was. I've put it together enough shelves and desks to know, because I actually have a shelf that's above. You just can't see it. It's only like a partial. It's like half the size, which is what I bought when Walmart lost my stuff, because I wanted another one of those. So I put together stuff before, and they were not as difficult as putting that stupid thing together. Walmart, ironically, has a decent amount of like shelving and stuff at a good price. Like the one that I bought was only like, I'm gonna say no more than $20. But they lost my stuff. So it's like, how do you lose shelving in transit? Because like it made its little tracking that never updated. It's like I see losing like small packages and stuff, but how do you lose a shelf? Like these things are heavy and they're big, regardless of like what size shelf. How do you lose that? I would say out of all the DIYers that I've seen, because like a lot of them don't have them like on display or where you can see them, but out of all the DIYers I've seen, I like Wayne's setup the most. But I know that probably costs a pretty penny, and I can't be doing that. His has like little drawers that come out, but they're all like one tiered, so they're not like stacked on top of each other. They're all like laid out, and they're just like, it looks really nice. But I looked into something similar to that, and it was like really expensive. I was like, nope. Moving on. I don't know. Yeah, people like every now and then people will show their stash setup. And there's some pretty impressive ones. There was one, it looked like a perfume display. It was pretty impressive. But with the way it was set up, I could see it getting very unorganized or very difficult to keep organized as you would get more flavors, because they were all just kind of like on racks, like in like a C formation. And I was just like, it looked very nice. But as far as keeping up and maintaining that, especially when you get new flavors, you'd have to like move stuff around. No, I ain't doing that. You'll be seeing my friend live this week, King of the Armbar. What, Chris Jericho? I thought he had left wrestling. I know he's left and come back a couple times, but I thought he was done. I haven't watched wrestling in forever. The last time I watched any kind of wrestling was when Fresh did we did like a Skype thingy or something where he was watching it and we were watching it. It was like a pay-per-view. Before that, years. I just can't get into it anymore. There's too many new people that I don't like. Like last time I watched it just to see what was going on, I didn't know who any of these people were. I'm like, who is she? Who are they? I can't. It must be like, back when I was watching, you'd have a lot of like the old timer people that have been watching forever, since like Hulk Hogan days and stuff. And they talk about how like the brand has like gotten worse and how like they don't know who anyone is and they don't like all these new people. That must be like what I'm feeling now. It's like a generational thing. Just like every generation thinks their music is the best. I just can't, I don't know. I just can't do it anymore. Yeah, WrestleMania. And it's sad because I really liked wrestling for like the longest time. I watched it since I was like, it was 7th grade. I don't remember exactly how old I was, but it was 7th grade. And all the way up until about 2014, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to know the exact years, but I try to stick with it. I can't. Like the only people I like that are still wrestling that I know of, because like I said, I haven't watched. Obviously I'll always like Randy. He's like my favorite for the longest time. But even him, he was getting really boring because it was like all the same stuff. I mean, there's only so much you can do, but and like the storylines they were giving him were just, I didn't really care for them. But I like him. I like Chris Jericho. I think that's about it. I can't honestly think of anyone else because like a lot of the people I liked, they don't do it anymore. Like Stone Cold, I really liked him when he was still wrestling. The Rock, I liked. AJ Lee, I really liked her. She's done. That's all I can think of at the moment. Oh, Mr. Kennedy, but he's doing other things. Last I knew, he was doing something. He was still wrestling, but he was doing some kind of division I've never heard of before. But he was happy, so that's good. And I try to get into TNA because a lot of the wrestlers I had been watching moved to there at one point, including Mr. Kennedy. I couldn't really get fully into that one. Like Sting was on there, which I, way back in the day, used to love him, like on WCW days. Used to love him. I liked Kurt Angle. Like, okay, I liked him enough. But yeah, I couldn't get into TNA. It just, WWE was just like the prime for so long. Like once WCW was kicked out, and even then, like there was just no competition. I haven't watched a lot of like the lower known brands or whatever. Like I know there's like Japan New Wrestling or something like that. I don't know. I haven't done that. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I'm like rambling about wrestling now, and it's all Vape's fault. But I hope you have fun at your show. I used to love going to the live shows. And that's another thing. Like back when I was more into it, like my best friend at the time, she was also into it. So like we'd always go to the shows together. Like now I don't know anyone in like my actual life that likes it. So I'm not going to the shows by myself. That's just, I don't know. I don't think I would enjoy that. So I don't know. But I hope you have fun. It's a lot of energy, which is nice. Kind of like similar to going to like a concert. Like all that energy around you is nice. I did enjoy going to see the live shows. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Check out Mix and Vixens. We'll be on in about 5 hours going over that floating cookie thing. Yeah. Have a good day and thank you for watching. Bye.